Welcome everybody to Season 2 of my F1 Career Mode, and yes, you heard that right. This was canon. So, let's see the starting grid for Season 2. Sergio Perez is starting on pole position. It's an all Red Bull front row with Max Verstappen starting in second place. And now let's look down the rest of the grid. We have Lewis Hamilton, then Leclerc, then myself. George Russell is starting in 6th position. Alonso. Then comes Valtteri Bottas, Mick Schumacher. Esteban Ocon starts 10th. Yuki Tsunoda in 11th. Kevin Magnussen, Guan Yu Zhou, Lance Stroll, Lando Norris, Sebastian Vettel, Daniel Ricciardo, Alexander Albon. 19th goes to King Latifi, and 20th is Pierre Gasly. And now, let's get right into the Grand Prix. I am very excited. And we're all set for the first race in Career Mode Season 2. 5 red lights are out, and we are underway, and we've gotten a terrible start there off the line. And now Lewis Hamilton, or is that George Russell, will be diving it up the inside, which he does, but we swing it around the outside of Charles Leclerc. And we've made a bit of contact with our teammate on that turn 2 incident. And now Lewis Hamilton's coming at our teammate, but it's Sergio Perez, a dream start for him, and Max Verstappen, who are both up into the lead and second place. It's a Red Bull 1-2 at the moment, as Alexander Albon has gotten past Daniel Ricciardo. But let's talk about that start again. As you can see, we got away decently, but the wheel spin kicked in, and George Russell got such a good start that he dove it up the inside, but we swing it around the outside of our teammate, and there's the bit of contact, front wheel to front wheel, of Charles Leclerc. It wasn't too bad, though, so neither of us have damage, but you can see the Leclerc went a little bit wide into turn 1 because of George Russell, and there's the contact there. So George Russell got very late on the brakes and almost went into the side of Charles Leclerc, so Leclerc had to do a little bit of avoidance driving, and that opened up the gap for us to swing through. Closing, the gap is closing, and now Schumacher's going to try to go around the outside of Fernando Alonso, who locks up and goes wide into turn 1. And Schumacher will get ahead. Magnussen's trying to get ahead. It's a terrible turn 1 for Fernando Alonso. That lockup really put him off. He's a wounded gazelle out there, but he's got the outside line, which is the quicker line. But Magnussen's still trying to hold it on that inside line. They make a bit of contact. How much damage is on the front wing of Fernando Alonso? But Magnussen and Schumacher get ahead. And let's see the replay. He almost ran into the back of his teammate, had to slam on the brakes, and locked up and went very, very wide. We got ahead of Charles Leclerc on the first lap, and now he might be coming back at us as he just lost the rear end, and now he will be under pressure from George Russell. That small mistake has really cost Leclerc as he tried to go down the inside on us onto a fast corner. And there goes George Russell, who is trying to get ahead, but Charles Leclerc just manages to stay in front. What racing we have now, and now Leclerc might be trying to get past us as he's going to go for the inside line, but the outside line is faster because you have that quicker line into turn 1, and then you have the inside for turn 2, and that is true, and we stay ahead of Leclerc, but he will have so much more speed into the next corner. He's got the inside line. We try to swing it around the outside, but we've gone off the track slightly. We try to keep it on for as much as we could, and we stay ahead, and there is George Russell, who's under pressure from Valtteri Bottas. Is it going to be second time lucky for Charles Leclerc? He's going to swing it around the outside. We go a little bit wider to block him off, and we stay ahead. And here goes Max Verstappen into turn 1 on his teammate. Sergio Perez has been leading since the start of the Grand Prix, but Max may try to take that, which he does. Max Verstappen is up into the lead of this Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Leclerc, third time lucky will it be? Oh, we just leave enough space for him. That was so tight there. And now it will be 3 abreast going into the next corner. We take the inside line on Charles Leclerc, wheel to wheel, and we make contact with our teammate. Leclerc has damage. His entire front wing's gone. He will need to peel into the pits, but we've done the cardinal sin. We've made contact with our teammate. Leclerc will have to come into the pit lane. Oh my goodness. Who is at fault for this one? I'll let you decide, but there's a contact there. I think that we are well and truly up the inside. You can see Leclerc swing through, but we did take that inside line. Leclerc sort of kept turning more and more straight into the side of us. And fortunately for us, we didn't get damaged, but what racing this was. You can see almost 3 abreast going into that left-hander. Leclerc turns too much and goes into the sides of us. In comes Max Verstappen from the lead of the race, and he's going to go on to medium compound tires and try to undercut his teammate and stay ahead in this Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. We also come into the pits. We go on to medium compound tires, hopefully to the end of the race. Fingers crossed that no damage occurs. Sergio Perez is going to be exiting the pit lane as Max Verstappen is coming down the main straight now. And will Max Verstappen keep his lead? Well, the pit lane exit is shorter than the road on the racetrack, and Max Verstappen makes contact with his teammate, but Sergio Perez has taken the lead in the pit stops over his teammate, Max Verstappen, who now Max Verstappen will lose more ground. And here's the contact there, front wheel to rear wheel on Sergio Perez. Well, so far, Charles Leclerc's had a shocker, but this move might make him a little bit more happy on Magnussen. Oh no! His engine's blown. The Ferrari engine has let go here in Saudi Arabia. Leclerc will need to pull off and retire from the Grand Prix. We made contact with him earlier, and his day gets even worse. Leclerc will not score in this Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Sergio Perez into the braking zone, and there's a lockup from Guan Yu Zhou in front. And now Sergio Perez swings it around the outside of him. Yuki Tsunoda also went a little bit wide, which forced Zhou to lock up, and there goes Max Verstappen down the inside on Guan Yu Zhou. But Max Verstappen just can't do it. He's lost the rear end, and there goes Lewis Hamilton. Very opportunistic there from Lewis Hamilton. Verstappen was first at the pit stops, and now he's down to 5th, but he will have the slipstream on Lewis Hamilton, who seems to be slowing up, and down the inside goes Max Verstappen. They're 3 abreast, 3 wide into the left-hander. Zhou gets squeezed out, but it's Hamilton wheel to wheel with Max Verstappen, who's trying to get through, and this is 2021 all over again. Around the outside goes Max Verstappen, but they will still be wheel to wheel. Verstappen has the more power down the straight with the engine, but Lewis Hamilton will have the DRS, which will help him pass Max Verstappen, but the corners will come fast enough for Max Verstappen to just stay ahead. Around the outside goes Max Verstappen. They're still wheel to wheel. Hamilton doesn't want to let this up, but Verstappen will have the DRS because he was just behind in the DRS detection. But now here comes Guan Yu Zhou trying to put Lewis Hamilton under more pressure. They go wheel to wheel, both on medium compound tires, but it's Verstappen from Hamilton. Then comes Guan Yu Zhou. The gap was 3 seconds, and now it's all the way down to 1 and a bit seconds with 3 laps to go. Lap by lap, we're reeling Lewis Hamilton in, and this may just be the lap that we go for the move to take that podium position away from Lewis Hamilton, and we are within DRS zone, which will help us to close even more. And now this may be our chance to try to get past Lewis Hamilton into the braking zone. It doesn't look like it will be unless we swing it around the outside, which we do. Into the exit. We have taken the podium place away from Lewis Hamilton. Oh my goodness. On lap 12, we are up into 3rd position. We got late on the brakes. We swung it around the outside, and what a move. Lewis Hamilton, I'm sure, is shocked by that move. He was leading into the braking zone. We had no gap until it opened up in the middle of the corner. Here comes Lewis Hamilton, though. We are harvesting because we have no battery. Lewis Hamilton will swing through to retake that 3rd position. So we are down to 4th position, and hasn't been all for nothing. But down the straight, we will have the DRS. Can we come back again? Can we do a ditto of what we did 1 lap prior? As we have a look to the inside, we're going to go for the outside line. We swing it around the outside, and it's a ditto of what we did 1 lap prior. And we are back up into 3rd position. What a move once again. And Sergio Perez, he took pole, and now he will take victory and lead a Red Bull 1-2. Max Verstappen comes second, and what a start to the season for Red Bull. We come home third. Leclerc DNF from this Grand Prix, so it's only half of what we could have gotten today. Lewis Hamilton comes third, and what a Grand Prix to start off this Season 2 of Career Mode. We come third, Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen lead a 1-2.